Starting a podcast to promote your business is a brilliant idea, but there are a few key components you must not leave out. Otherwise, it's going to be about as helpful as this truck is to a trailer, because I think there's a few bits missing. In this episode of the Business Amplifier Podcast, we are talking to Seth Goldstein. He's been there, he's done it very well. And here are 3 ways to absolutely up your podcast. Whoop! Seth, I've got the coolest idea for a podcast. I've got it all in here, right? And I reckon if I just hit record and just let it all out, I reckon I'm going to be a millionaire. I reckon the subscribers are going to come flooding in. What else can it be? I'm a genius. All I've got to do is talk and people will be hitting subscribe, sending me cash, and my life is going to change, let me tell you. Seth,
you can think that.
If I believed that, how much trouble would I be in?
No one would listen. No one would listen. I mean, you're more than welcome to do that for yourself.
just for my own personal audience of 1.
Exactly. Maybe, and your mom, maybe.
She's not interested. She's not
exactly.
interested
So
at all.
the audience of 1. Exactly. You don't want to do that. Now you do want to start, but you don't want to. You want to kind of have a plan. We'll get into that.
We'll get into that. So we have here 3 really good ways to ruin your podcast.
Love it.
Absolutely, just trash it. So what's the first way, Seth? Lay it on me.
The first one is to do exactly what you said you were going to do. Don't do that.
Just
essentially,
what?
Don't do that. The idea is to have some semblance of a plan. Now, you don't have to have a perfect plan at the very beginning. You don't have to have a perfect plan. But you need to have some semblance of where you're going to go. Tangents are okay as long as you come back to the beginning and close the tangent. But no one wants to listen to an endless ramble of nonsense. Not a good thing. Not a good thing.
Unless, like, your whole audience is just stoners or something. And then...
Even then they're going to be like, this is trippy, man. I'm going to tune out.
So, yeah, don't ramble. Have a plan.
Don't ramble.
How deep do you go into that? Do you have, like, a set of end points that you want to get to, or things that you want to discuss?
I've practiced. It's called practice. It's called, like, it also depends on the kind of podcast you have. If you have a podcast that is an interview podcast, you're going to have more tangents, but you're not going to ramble because the other person is going to ramble, and you're going to be too busy trying to get them to not ramble.
It's trying to rein them in.
Rein them in. So you're not going to ramble. But if you're doing a pontification podcast, which is what I like to say, it's just you talking to the wind, essentially, then you need to think about how you portray your message, and have some semblance of a plan, even if this is bullet points. I want to talk about this, and this, and stick to those. And don't ramble beyond those, if you can help it.
So if recording or hosting a podcast was you can waver on the footpath a little bit left and right, but don't fall in the ditch and don't go wandering across the field into the forest, because you'll get lost and you'll lose everyone listening. Fair?
Yes, and you might get eaten by a wolf. So that's not a good thing.
There you go. Well, that's the ultimate thing. Look, you heard it here today, listeners and viewers. If you ramble on a podcast, you may get eaten by a wolf.
There you
go. And don't say, as they're chewing your leg, you can't say Seth didn't warn you.
Exactly.
You'll be thinking, I should have listened to Seth. So that was number 1. Number 2, what's the second brilliant way to ruin your podcast?
Man. Well, let's go to the third one. I think the third one's actually funnier, actually. Hit record.
There's a certain type of listener who's been doing podcasting for a while whose buttocks just clenched and they felt a little bit sick.
Oh, it's the worst feeling when you don't hit record. Oh, it's the worst feeling. But that's salvageable. That's salvageable, because you can always say, hey, I'm sorry I didn't hit record, let's re-record, and sometimes it's even better the second time. But you talked for how long? And you didn't record? Like, it sucks. Now the second, go ahead.
I was going to say, I've done some recordings in real life where I've been so worried about not recording. I interviewed a guy who was like 98. He worked with Alan Turing. He'd done incredible things, and he brought computer design to Boeing. So I took I took microphones, I took my recording studio gear, I took digital recorders. I had 3 layers of
So you make sure you
redundancy.
recorded that. You got
Made
that recorded,
really,
yeah.
Really short. It's a lot easier now. So we're recording this on Riverside. I've also used Zencaster and a few other times. It's pretty safe now, but sometimes you can be so caught up with your guest or so nervous perhaps that you forget.
Oh, it's the worst. You don't hit that record button. It's like, all right. And now the third one.
The big one. This one's the big one. I can feel it.
This is the big one. The third one is to have some semblance of a plan. You need to have some semblance of where you want to go, how you want to do things. And if you don't have a semblance of plan, you're going to ramble. You're going to go back to number one. You're going to ramble.
You're going back to number one. So when you're talking about this, you could sum it up as cadence. So this isn't so much
exactly, cadence. Because you have a plan of where you want to go with things. You're going to have a cadence in the show. You're going to have a cadence like every week it's going to come out. Every month it's going to come out. You know, people are going to expect to hear you at a certain cadence. People are going to expect a certain cadence or I would say more format actually might be the more apropos word of the show. So you're not going to go back and ramble. And you're going to probably remember the record because you're going to have doing it on a regular basis. So that's kind of the big one. You can fly by the seat of your pants a little bit, but make sure you bring a belt with you just in case you have to tighten it up. How about that for an analogy?
We're coming up with some beautiful analogies here today.
Yeah, man.
I've lost my thread now. You caught me off with that. But yeah, having that lack of plan, you quite often see with podcasts. They go the same way as blog posts on new websites. You go look, and there'll be maybe 10 blog posts, and they've all got a publication date right next to each other, and then there's nothing.
Yeah,
nothing
you need to plan stuff out. Multiple layers of planning, and I mean, people are like, well, and you also on the flip side, you have to just press record at some point.
Yeah,
and your first episode, I'm not sure I can curse. It's always gonna be crap.
You can say
first episode's always gonna be crap.
Shit if you want. It's fine.
Yeah, first one's always gonna be shit. Yeah, always gonna be shit. Still keep it out there. Everyone cuts their teeth in the first few episodes. You get better with the reps you put into it. It's just the way it is.
I think it's good. It's a good trust builder with your audience as well. If you go back and listen to very early episodes of even podcasts made by that have now have millions of subscribers, it just shows that we're all human. I think podcasting is partly popular because it's quite raw and it's not radio and it's not YouTube, and you can see people shift.
It's not the BBC.
Around. It's not the BBC.
Like I always tell people, we're not doing effing NPR here.
Not doing what?
Effing NPR, National Public Radio. That's our BBC.
Oh, right. Sorry, I didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah. We're not doing the BBC. We're not being all the presenters. We're having fun.
This is a nice 3 things. So if somebody's listening to this, the biggest thing I'm getting so far is just start. But just get a notepad, scribble a few things down.
Have some semblance of a plan. And that's really it. And also hit the record button.
That is very important. So if you could summarize all this, if somebody who's coming to the end of this episode, as we are now, and you want them to just take away one thing they're going to repeat to themselves and just really drum into their brain, what would be the one thing?
I have one word. Cadence.
Cadence. I like that.
Because literally, if you have cadence, you're going to remember to hit record. And you're going to remember not to ramble. It's literally... I'm glad I ordered our little list here because it's good to end with cadence.
It's fluid.
So,
thank you to Seth Goldstein. That was awesome. We talked around and bounced around a bit there, so I'm going to go back to the 3 things, the 3 best ways to absolutely ruin your podcast. Number 1, don't have a plan about what you're going to talk about. Just ramble, go on, just go for it. Number 2, forget to hit record. There you go. You're not going to have to worry about editing if you haven't actually hit record and recorded your podcast. Number 3, don't bother with cadence. Publish whenever you want. What do you think of this episode? I thought it was quite good fun. Was it helpful? Are you thinking of starting a podcast? If so, just get on with it. That's exactly what Seth said, wasn't it? Just start. But remember to hit record. Remember to have a plan. Remember cadence. That's it. We're done for this episode. Please like, subscribe, and tell your mum.
in this episode of the Business Amplifier Podcast, we're speaking to Seth. In this episode of the Business Amplifier Podcast...
fuck's sake. Starting a podcast to promote your business can be a brilliant idea, but if you leave out a certain key la 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 big truck.